We're live.
Yes. Somehow, I don't know why I don't have that, but I do. So welcome, everybody. This is a blab we're calling Jewelry Storybook. We're going to talk about jewelry and the role that it plays in our lives. And I'm here with my esteemed colleague, Mr. Andrew Barry. And very, very happy to be sharing this this space with you, Andrew.
It's very, Andrew. Very strange, surreal. This is, I tell you now. Just trying to adjust my lighting to get my good side.
Good, good. We want the good side for sure.
That's the back of my head, by the way.
Andrew is an award-winning goldsmith jewelry designer in South Wales in the UK, and also the founder of atthebench.com, where you can master your technique in jewelry making, all aspects of it. And I'm really glad that you're here with me. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. More than welcome. Yes, and I'd also like to welcome, is it this side? You this side?
On mine, yeah, to me, yeah.
That's cool.
No.
I'd also like to welcome Ginger, Ginger McCallum, master goldsmith, custom jewelry designer in the North Carolina,
yeah.
North Carolina in the US.
You have to say it with a southern accent.
I do, yeah. I'm absolutely sweating here because I've had to close the door and the wife's got the heating on, so I am absolutely boiling.
Oh my goodness. So we have a question.
I'm still dressed from my haircut. Yeah, look at the haircut.
Andrew got a haircut. Yeah. Do you feel lighter? That's why you're cold.
There we go. How about that? There you go. Is that better?
Props for Andrew's ears, guys. I'm trying to give you props. There you go. Look at that.
Cool.
Your numbers, you can see your numbers going up. It's awesome. All right. So we have some questions coming in already. Yes. Hi, Shoshana's here. Hello. Yes, we are recording. Mark got kicked off, but he's back. Dee wants to know if you got a haircut. We've covered that already. Yep. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm going back next week to get them to finish it.
They didn't finish it.
It's a joke.
We would say here in the South that you got your ears lowered.
Ah, cool. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
We don't use it. No.
Yeah.
It's American, obviously.
It's American. Right. Obviously.
So yeah, question for Shoshana. Are we going to record this blab? Yes, we are. And Mark crashed too.
Yes. Yeah. So I thought I would share one little story. I mean, you guys, those who may not know me, as Andrew said, I'm a jeweler, and I have a very highly narrative approach to my work. I do a lot of custom work, and so I work with people, and it is my belief that jewelry is a very intimate art form, and as we wear it on our bodies, it tells a story. It can serve as a talisman, as capture a memory, help you feel closer to someone, celebrate accomplishments in your life, all of that. And so I wanted to share one story I've been doing that a long time, and I had a client that came to me a few years ago, tragic situation after the death of his wife. They were very young, in their 20s, and she had been married. They had been married for about 4 years. She worked in campaign fundraising, and someone on her staff, hi Kathy, someone on her staff who I'm going to let Kathy in. Kathy's asking for a seat, so I'm going to bring you in, Kathy, while I'm telling my story. Hey, she's got her visor on. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. We can barely hear you, Kathy.
Let me see if I can turn my volume up. Is that better?
Not yet. Little bit.
I can hear you loud and clear.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay.
So
listen.
I'm going to carry on with my story. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
Carry on.
Okay. So she worked in campaign fundraising, and someone on her staff has now been convicted of embezzling money from her company. And she discovered it, and as it turns out, this person was best friends with her and her husband, and actually had been best man in their wedding 4 years prior. And she suspected him of this, of stealing the money. And so what she did was she had him over for dinner and confronted him. And he lost it, grabbed a knife in the kitchen and stabbed her to death. And her husband tried to protect her and was injured in the process. And just a very, very few weeks after that, he came to see me with her wedding ring and said that he wanted to have it close to him, but didn't know how to do that. And so I designed a wearable reliquary for him with the ring inside. And I put a link at the very beginning of the chat. You can go back and read more details about that. But that was probably the most difficult project that I have ever had. And in the end, a couple of years later, I heard from him again during the guy was convicted and has gone to prison. And the client reached out to me and let me know that that piece of jewelry was one of the things that helped him get through those 2 years, and especially the trial in particular, where he had to relive all those details. So anyway, jewelry is a powerful, powerful thing. It can be, it's not always, not everybody. I think a lot of it has to do with what you attach to the piece, in terms of the meaning you give to it. But anyway, super sad, heavy story.
Good one to start with.
Yeah, really, just put a lead brick on everything, right? We've got Mark calling in. I'm going to bring Mark in now. All right. So, Kathy, what have you been working on?
I have a lot of projects. These little tiny arms, snapping them, and then I'm going to put,
I can barely hear you. I'm trying very hard.
Yeah.
Are you on an iPhone?
Oh, yeah. There's that sound again. Sparky's magic.
Kathy, are you on an iPhone?
Today.
You made some terms today. Are you on a phone or a computer?
I'm on my iPad.
On your iPad. Do you have any earbuds like this?
I do.
Can you get them?
Yeah.
I think that would help.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hi, Mark.
Hi.
Hey, Mark. How are you?
Hi, Governor.
Nice Durston you got behind you there.
Bad, actually. Thank you very much. What is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it's working now. It's lovely.
So does that plate actually go up?
Yeah.
Because I can still see the gap.
Hey, this is.
It just stays down.
No. Apparently, yeah. And Mike actually sent me photographs of at least 3 or 4 mills that he had in his shop
Bizarre.
or in his warehouse or whatever, and
his
they
name's
were all
Matthew,
like that.
by the way.
They were all dropped. Yeah, really strange.
Oh, Mike Taylor.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
God.
I mean Mike, the other guy.
You talked to him?
But yeah, Mike Taylor. But Matthew, I kept. Yes. Yeah, I did. I kept, but yes, I did keep calling Matthew Andrew in my last vlog or whatever it was, my last scope.
It really is.
This technology
it really is
amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's brilliant. Yeah, great. So the guy who stabbed the lady, did he not? He
claimed he pleaded insanity, and he's got life in prison. Oh yeah, he'll be in there for the rest of his life.
And he's still in there, is he, presumably?
But he's in a mental
God Almighty,
mental institution. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
With your
The
bit-
husband
with
is the
your
one
piece
that
of
I made the
gold on
peace
his
with.
neck.
Yeah. not the not the
Okay,
murderer.
okay. Sorry. Yeah, the murderer.
Yo, you know what? That is a job I would turn down. I got to tell you. No way would I do that.
I do those things for
absolutely.
money. Perhaps I
Me too.
turn that down.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kathy, you've got your earbuds in now.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better
Dear
now?
Lord.
Yes.
A little bit better.
Okay.
Much better.
Okay,
Thank you
that's
so
good.
much.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So tell us what you said you were working on some charms.
I'm making some little charm necklaces. I'm getting ready for a Thanksgiving show, so I'm trying to make some pieces that are priced for gifts. So they're little hearts that I'm stamping, and then I'll be soldering little embellishments on them,
Mm-hmm.
and
Nice.
a little stone set in there.
Cabochon or a faceted stone?
A cabochon.
So you're doing just a bezel type setting?
A bezel set, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can you hold it up?
Well, this is... Here's the very dirty one that I just soldered.
Oh, my favorite. That's my favorite kind.
I soldered this on, but here's one where I've just I've just done the stamping. Can you see it? Am I holding it in the right?
Put it right in front of your face.
I'm technically
It's okay.
challenged.
It's okay.
Oh, sitting very low. Are you sitting very low?
Yeah, there we go.
And the cabochon will be set in on this side, and this will have a little flower cut out, soldered on here.
Fantastic. And it's a Thanksgiving show. Is it like the Friday after Thanksgiving?
Yeah,
like the Black Friday thing?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So you know what I just realized? I don't think our UK friends know about Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
Oh.
You know, it's a uniquely American thing.
Tell us about it.
It's when everybody gets ready for Christmas too.
Well, what it's supposed to be.
But what it's supposed to be is quite different, yes.
Yeah, it's been commercialized like so many other things, but it's when we in the U.S. celebrate the Pilgrims landing in Virginia and the Carolinas, and the original settlers, who many of whom came from the UK, coming to discover the U.S. And the story goes that they celebrated their first harvest, and it's all about celebrating, food and divine provision and harvest and all of these things for these people who had come on the Mayflower among, I think, 4 other boats, and sailed to this new land with promises of, a better life. So that's
and do you
what
know
it
where
is.
they sailed from?
It was a Spanish ship, most of them, and they were actually looking for spices. Am I right, Kathy?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember my 3rd grade education.
Right, I know. I can't believe we got into a situation where they're going to stump us with history questions.
I know.
The only reason why I'm asking, didn't the Mayflower set off from Plymouth? Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
The Mayflower, the
are we talking about
Santa
the
Ana,
Mayflower?
help me, Kathy. Anybody else know? Check the chat. Yes. Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Christopher Columbus.
1692.
Nina Pinta Santa Maria.
On the Mayflower.
Oh, you're looking
from
it
Plymouth.
up? Or do you just remember that? So, yes. Plymouth Rock.
Plymouth, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, that's right. Plymouth Rock, yeah. Good band.
Good gin as well.
Yes.
Cheers.
So I see. I can
That's
only
right.
see Ginger, Andrew, Kat, myself, and Mark. But I see
correct.
that there's other people on. Why can't we see them?
Well, what happens is Blab only allows 4 people in the video at a time.
Oh.
We have 9 people in the room, and 33 people have been here at some point. So of the other 5 people who are here, in order for them to come in, one of you has to step out. So
I see.
you can only have 4 at a time.
But we can still observe.
You can still observe, and you can still
Type
comment
question.
in the chat.
Okay.
What's this? No, it's wrong way.
If somebody else wants in, I can go out, but I don't know how I do that.
I think if you tell me you want that, I can do that for you.
Should we kick Mark off?
I'm
kicking him off.
Okay, you kick him off. It looks like he's already kicked himself off.
There you go. Anybody want to come in?
Anybody want to come in, just hit the join button. Yay! Fantastic.
I've never seen a moving D before. I've always seen a static picture.
I know. You see lots of D hearts move all the time.
Yeah. Hi, D.
Hey.
I actually can move.
We've all got glasses on.
Yeah, I have my glasses. I can't see without my glasses. The problem is my bifocal, so I have to keep turning my head up so I can see the messages.
I've been thinking about entertaining the idea of contacts. I don't know. I'm still considering it.
Yeah, I don't think they work with bifocals very well.
That's what I've heard. Yeah, I just need them for up close, which is kind of a curse for a jeweler to not be able to see up close, you know?
I tried it once with monovision where they put one contact in and the other one you don't, and it made me all crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't
that's what that means. I've heard that term, but I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, just one contact.
Yeah. Well, how are you?
I'm doing good. Oh, the dog's barking. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Lily's making herself known. Charlie's just sleeping. He's down on the floor.
Is that the man or the dog? Oh, it's the dog.
That's Charlie. Oh, there's no man. There's no man here.
I do apologize.
But if there were, he'd be sleeping on the floor too, I bet.
No, he gets to sleep in the bed.
Good. That's what they're for.
Yes, he's about an hour and a half away.
Oh, okay. Great. So you are in upstate New York or Western New York?
Western New York.
Okay. How far from the city are you?
Oh, I'm about an 8-hour drive.
Oh, wow.
I'm way over on the western side. I'm about 15 or 20 minutes from Lake Erie.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So that's why we get all the snow.
I see. They call that lake effect, right?
Yes, they do. We had last year we had a storm, and I think we had close to 8 feet in 2 days.
Good grief.
Yeah, it was. I was completely snowed in with the dogs with no furnace, so I had my. I had the fire to keep me warm, and the dogs, of course.
How long have you lived there?
I grew up in Western New York, so I've lived here.
So you're accustomed to that kind of weather.
Oh yeah, I love this.
I wouldn't last.
Oh, I enjoy it. The time I don't like is when it gets when the snow turns all dirty. Usually come about February and March it gets, but there's nothing more beautiful than a blue sky and crystal snow, and it sparkles like diamonds. It's beautiful.
We have about 3 inches of snow over here, and everything comes to a standstill.
Yes, it's like that in the Carolinas too.
Yeah, it's like that here too. People make a run for milk and bread. That's the stereotype.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't go for vodka or something, but it's always the milk and bread.
My brother and niece live in the Carolinas now, so my brother couldn't take it anymore. He was in Detroit, Michigan, so he moved. I think he's been down there almost 10 years, and he's trying to encourage all of us to move down there with him. But I'm still stuck in Western New York.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm in the area of California where we get a lot of snow. I'm just 15 miles south of Mammoth Mountain Ski Area, which is, I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it's in the Sierras of California. and we will get, well, we've had a drought for about 6 years, but normally we will get a 3 to 5 foot snowfall overnight quite often.
Wow.
3 to 5 feet in one night?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
the norm.
I do love snow. I like a nice snowfall.
Yeah. I am, oh, look, Dee gave us the name of the boats. Nina Pinta Santa Maria.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dee.
You're welcome. It's because I wasn't put on the spot. I could remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, my third grade, actually, I think it's in North Carolina. We study, the kids study North Carolina history in the 4th grade. And so because North Carolina was one of the original 13 colonies, you know, that all of that is part of our 4th grade education. And I've had 4 children go through the 4th grade, and I still didn't remember it.
Well, I don't think I could remember it either if I was called upon to repeat history.
Yeah. Yes. So I want to know if you've been working on anything today, Dee.
I was finishing up an order for some necklaces that I just got it all completely done, and I worked on some earrings. I have a little jewelry party coming up November 1st. High school friend is hosting it, and then I'll have another one in Cleveland, Ohio, probably before Thanksgiving. So I take everything that I've made and spread it out in their dining room on all the tables, cool. And they invite their friends and come and buy some things. So it's been fairly successful. I don't have a website or anything and haven't gone that route yet, but the little parties have done pretty well. So nothing terribly exciting. I'm just kind of finishing up some little things right now and trying to get some earrings and that kind of thing. But I'm anxious to get back and work on some more turquoise jewelry because I really enjoy that.
That's your favorite, right?
I do really enjoy it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drawn to that color. It's very, I love the beach and I love white sand and the color of the turquoise color of the ocean. So down the Gulf of Florida, I go down on vacation. So really enjoyed that color. It reminds me of that. I think that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything with beach glass?
No, I haven't. You know, it's not easy to find it. I think there are places, I think, for you in your area, I believe. I can't
Look at that. How about that? Some beach glass.
Oh, do you find that near where you live?
No, I live in the valleys. So This is about 20 miles south of where we are. And yeah, I just got a whole load of beach glass.
Very nice.
It was supposed to be for the wife, but
I went about a month ago with my boyfriend. We went down to the lake and looked for some pieces, but there were a couple of scroungers there ahead of us, and the lady, when she saw us coming, she quickly got ahead of us so she could pick up all the big pieces. So I got some teeny tiny little pieces, which I really couldn't do anything with.
Are you familiar with, I do not know the name of it. I could find out. There's a beach in Puerto Rico that is inches deep.
I think I've seen pictures of it.
Nothing but sea glass. My best friend from Girl Scouts makes jewelry with beach glass, and she went to Puerto Rico just for that reason.
Oh, wow. No, I've never been there.
Yeah, and she has a photograph of her, like, literally knee deep in glass and just, reclining on the beach covered in it. It's just amazing.
I think is there a place in California that's like that as well? Yeah.
There is. It's on I'm trying to remember where it is. Near Fort Bragg, California. There's a beach that is where a lot of people go to collect beach glass.
I think I heard of that as well.
Yeah. I haven't ever gone to check it out, but I have seen some beach glass sporadically around the beaches in Carmel area, but I haven't actually been to the beach where they are supposed to have beach glass all over the shore.
Carmel's a beautiful area too.
Oh, it's really pretty. I was lucky enough. My husband had a job in Carmel last year, around this time of year, a job that lasted 2 weeks. So I tagged along.
I went for work one time. I worked for the Gap clothing store for many years, 22 years, and they were based in San Francisco. So we would go out to the West Coast at least 4 times a year. And we went to Carmel one time, and it was actually a very foggy morning. The fog had set in, and so it was kind of encasing the entire beach, but it was absolutely beautiful.
It is, yeah.
So I have a question for you too. If you don't mind. Andrew and I were talking about how I'm really sentimental and my work is very narrative and there's always all of that. And him, am I pointing to him?
Wrong way. Other way.
Wrong way.
There you go.
His approach is different, you know? How would you describe it, Andrew?
What, my work?
Yeah.
I do so much. That's the thing. And I suppose actually making pieces of jewelry is a very small portion of what I do now. It used to be quite a bit. But nowadays, I don't do an awful lot really for the shop, so to speak. Because I'm either filming or editing or here, then everywhere. So the pieces that I do make aren't as, I suppose, narrative as yours. We do get people in with their old sentimental pieces of jewelry or the gemstones and that sort of thing. But we don't necessarily go into an awful lot of detail regarding, like your pictures and your locket, each one depicts a child or whatever. We never get into that much detail. I think the majority of the reasons that people don't necessarily can't afford it where we are. They sometimes object to paying like £100 just to have a plain band made from their gold. So to go anything further than that is really quite hard to do. It would be nice to be able to sit down and have, as you say, ask loads and loads of questions regarding the children, then turn something round into a nice design and that sort of thing. But I think for the time taken to do it and the area that we're in, it's not really possible. But we do, in my wedding band, my wife's wedding band has the gold from my grandmother's wedding ring and that sort of thing. So yes, there is some sentimentality about mine and other pieces we do make, but nothing into the stories that you tell.
So Dee and Kathy and the others who are still here, what do you guys think about that? The two different approaches. Any thoughts? Any?
Oh, I have. Yeah. Actually, as a matter of fact, I was just talking. I met with the girl that's going to host the party in November for me, and I was talking about the work that you do, Ginger. And I said, for me, commissions would be, and Andrew as well, would be very difficult because the work that I do is really from, in a sense, my imagination or influenced by line more than anything. My pieces are simple and more fluid in nature. And for me, I have to make something, I have to feel it to do it, where it would be really difficult for me to, I think, try and design something for what someone else has in their imagination to be able to put it into words. So that's why for both of you, for what you do, I have great respect because I would find it difficult, and I think I'd second guess myself through the process, because if it was something different than what my personal style is, it would be really hard for me to try and create it. And I would second guess myself, and I do that enough as it is without, worrying about what somebody else. I have done a couple things that people have said, could you do this or could you do that? And I found it very difficult. So, I have great respect for both of you that you're able to, take the customer's ideas and be able to create something in that way.
I seem to make jewelry at the start of someone's life, sort of more sort of engagement rings and wedding rings and that sort of thing, as opposed to perhaps later on in life. So I suppose when you make wedding bands, engagement rings, you haven't really got, or they haven't got a tale to tell. So I suppose the piece that we make is the start of their journey.
Well,
Perhaps.
and I always think of it this way too. Like most people are going to buy a nice piece of jewelry at least once in their life, and it may only be their wedding band, their wedding ring. That might be their only extensive jewelry purchase. So.
And what always annoys me is that people are more inclined to spend thousands of pounds upon a wedding dress that'll only get worn once, but they'll scrimp and save on a wedding band that lasts them the rest of their lives.
Yeah, they don't think about
I get so frustrated with that.
Yeah. Or they'll spend. I heard of somebody who spent like $600 on butterflies. I'm not kidding. To release them at the wedding. Anyway. Crazy. So I don't have a really really nice, heartwarming story to tell. You are very heartwarming.
I don't really have a very sentimental bone in my body, unfortunately.
I don't know if I believe that.
No, it's true. Trust me.
I find that hard to believe too.
No. I'm not very. I have no sympathy for members of staff who work if they hurt themselves, for instance.
That's because they wrapped in bubble wrap.
Is that normal?
That's a completely different issue.
But I find perhaps I put up a screen, perhaps. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but you're not that way with your girls, are you?
In one respect, yes.
No, I don't know. Based on the things that I've seen you say.
When they were young, if they hurt themselves, I just say that's fine. Just get on with it. And my wife's there going, "Oh, are you sure you're okay? Oh, just let them get on with it. They've got to learn." I'm heartless sometimes.
Not bleeding, bones still working.
Exactly. But I've made lots of other pieces of jewelry for various parts of the body, and I got nice little tales to tell. So perhaps we can save that for another blab.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Well, I was just going to ask you, what happens? Did the girls?
We have a new member.
Charlie.
Props for the dog. I'm happy I get to give Dee props. She always gives so many hearts. Andrew, did the girls date?
Does that mean interacting with boys?
Yeah.
No.
I bet some sentimental feelings might come up in you when that starts happening.
A shotgun.
Sit down.
A shotgun and a list of things what they got to ask their boyfriends or their boyfriends' parents. How much money do you earn? But no, they haven't gone dating. They haven't really sort of mingled with boys. The school they went to was an all-girls school, and it's only in the last 2 years that two of them went to a sixth form college, and then Grace stayed in the school. So they've had no real experiences, I'll say that in the nicest way, with boys.
So now they'll experience it now that they're at university.
Yeah, but my children are strange because they are very happy getting on with their work. And Caitlin loves Exeter because the library's open 24/7. It never closes. So she's in there all the time. And my other two daughters are just busy working all the time as well. They just don't go out. Apart from on the weekend when Caitlin did go out and she said she'd never do it again.
But they like their Bacardis, though.
Grace loves a Bacardi, yes. Caitlin likes her single malt whiskey. She gets that from me. And Charlotte likes a nice glass of cider. But as dating boys, nah. Not a chance. Not a chance yet.
Well, thanks. I appreciate what you said, Dee, about trying to get back on track with it.
Completely.
I don't know where to go with that.
Stumped.
No, I've really enjoyed reading, and I read the story online. I didn't know about the tragic piece of it. I just knew that this gal had passed away. But I find it very intriguing. Your concept is so all-encompassing. Everything that you do is all tied together, even your marketing pieces, and it's a true reflection of you. And I find it fascinating. And both of you I've learned a tremendous amount from, and Andrew's attention to detail in at the bench, and just how you approach everything, and showing us in the most simple ways with most simple tools how to create something is, that's not always the easiest way, but you show us with the tools that we might only be able to afford, and it's been tremendous. And where I live, there aren't a lot of opportunities to interact with people and to take classes, and so when I would go down to Florida on vacation, I'd take a class for a month, and that was it. And so when I found at the bench, it was wonderful because I was able to, go in, find different things, learn different techniques, look at different things, rewatch it. And now with what's happening through Periscope and through the live streams, it's like a teacher is there. And Ginger, I've come to you as well and asked questions, and it's wonderful to have in a sense a little group of people that you feel comfortable enough to be able to go and ask questions, and it's like having a teacher right here. So it's been tremendous for me. So I just want to say thank you to both of you. Yeah, it's
very kind.
That's fantastic.
I greatly appreciate it.
But I think that when you make jewelry, you have to learn how to use the tools, and there's not much point spending thousands of pounds on tools that you're never going to use, or you don't have the understanding to use, and don't have the understanding what the hell they do. So this is the reason why in the majority of films I use that little handheld £25 or $50, whatever, little handheld butane torch, because in theory you can do so much with that. You don't need to spend money on oxy-propane torches and all that sort of thing. You just don't need it. Mm-hmm. So if you can produce jewelry of a high standard using this lower, not lower quality, but
more of an entry level.
Yeah. If you can just imagine what you can do if you could have the money and then spend and go a bit further.
Right. And what I have found in that vein is that when I was progressing in my work and my skills were advancing and the work was developing, if I run into, I need to do this thing, whatever it is, and this torch won't do it, that's when I know I'm ready to move up to the next torch, whatever it may be.
Yeah, exactly.
And, it may be like, certain tools, the more comfortable you get with your hands and the process of making and doing all the things that we do, you need less. And that's coming from somebody who has a lot of tools, I know, but you can make what you need in many cases. Like me making that tool that I use for those settings, that is easy. I have a friend who made a mushroom steak out of a ball, like you put on the back of a pickup truck, like a hitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A hitch.
It's like a round piece of steel. She just polished it and she's got a mushroom
well, there's a good idea. I'll have to use that one.
Yeah. So there's things like that. And the more you get to know other jewelers and, you can ask someone, hey, I'm having this issue. What did you do about this? And so it's really important to have a tribe, to share, to develop together. I think it's a really important thing. And in particular, I look for groups of people that where there's not a sense of I'm better than you are, you know, or where everybody's just, it's just okay to be at the level you're at and know that, you know, we all show up and we do what we do and we learn from each other and we support each other. And so that's what I'm looking for, you know.
This is why I stay away from a lot of forums nowadays, because there was one or two forums that I went on, suggesting advice, directing people to YouTube films and that sort of thing, and I just got slated for lots of things that I said. I don't need that, so I don't bother anymore. So, you know, there used to be 3 or 4 forums I used to go on every night, and you can see at the end of it, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
Yes, you are there to help people if they ask questions. But if you're going to get slated for answering someone or directing someone to perhaps a video that I have done, well then, you know, I just don't see the point of that. And something like this, where we can all talk, and the live streams that we do, like with the soldering, and you can talk in the chat like we have.
Those are wonderful, Andrew.
Yeah.
I love those.
You know, they're really good, and I feel this is a better community because everyone wants to be here to help, and there's no bitching regarding anybody, which is far better.
Yeah, and I think of it as like a bird that puffs up his chest, like he's got to make himself bigger and better than everybody else. And I think another sort of barometer to know if you're in the right place or not. If you go on a forum like that, and I don't know which ones you're talking about, but I know what you mean. If I feel worse when I finish reading than I did when I started, then I don't need that. You know?
Exactly.
Dee, you were going to say something. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's interesting you say that because I had an experience. I think I joined like 4 different groups on there, and I had a problem. My neighbor had a ring that she had gotten out west. She's 88 years old. Well, it wasn't a ring. It was a pendant. And she said, no, I've got that wrong. It was a ring, and she had lost the stone. And I said, well, I might be able to fix it. I said, I can look at it. I'm not certain that I can, but I said, let me look at it and see. And it was a bezel set Mexican ring, and it was quite large. The stone was almost 2 inches long. So it was quite big. And as she's gotten older, her fingers have gotten thinner, and she didn't feel comfortable wearing it. And I said, let me look at it, and I can see. I said, maybe I can make a pendant or something into it. Well, the bezel was completely smashed, and she had glued it back in. And so I went on one of these forums, and not all I got, but I got this huge lecture from this one woman. And as a matter of fact, every time I see one of her posts, it's the exact same thing. And basically, how she says everything is in such a demeaning way and condescending that, well, you need to do it this way. And that's not always the case. There are a million ways to do the same thing. And I ended up becoming friends with this one gentleman down in Texas. He's a virtual friend. And, we've become friends, and I text back and forth with him. And he does a lot of... he's a lapidary artist and also he's a silversmith, self-taught. But he told me that there was a simple way to fix it. And, I came away having a greater understanding of how to do it, but also learning that there are great people out there that are, don't have to, be the centerpiece. And were very, very helpful. So it's been
Oh yeah, there's hundreds of ways to achieve a result, and not one is necessarily the right way to do it. Some people may find it one way easier or another, and it's entirely whichever you feel is best. We try and teach people one particular way, but I'm not saying that's the right way.
But the other thing that you do, Andrew, that I like so much is that you ask for feedback, and if someone has a question with a certain process, you encourage them, and that you're constantly listening. You're not just putting your films out there and saying, well, this is it, this is the only way. You're listening for feedback, and if people don't understand something, you're willing to go back. So it really is like you have an instructor that's dedicated to you. I don't know how many members you have at the bench, but it's I find it an amazing resource. So I just want to say thank you for that.
Thank you very much.
And Ginger, through her comments and kindness and responses to things, I've learned a lot there as well. And I loved your video the other day, or your scope the other day when you did the setting, because I've never seen that done before either.
Oh, yeah. Me breaking the rules.
Yeah, breaking the rules. But it was fun to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So at this point, let me say that any of the other people who are in the room, if you want a seat, just come in the chat and say, I'd like a seat. And then we'll know to make a space for you. So.
Anybody?
Anybody.
Everyone's too shy.
We have 9 people here. I know.
How about Shelley?
How about Shelley?
Oh, hang on a sec. My wife wants me. Hang on a sec.
There goes. He got the hook.
I'm glad he remembered he had that thing on his head. He almost like took off with it.
So are you going to do the dueling? Have you figured out how to do the soldering challenge?
I've sorted out the split screen, but unfortunately the PC that enables me to do it, that's the powerful one, is at home.
Oh.
So I can't do it around there. But I'm sure we can do something like this, because this works just as good.
Oh, yeah, that would be good.
I will, I'll leave this to let somebody else in. I'm not sure if it's Shelley or whoever somebody said, okay, but I'm in bed. But I just, before I'm
surprised Andrew's not in bed.
But before
Shelley's
I
in
go,
bed.
I just want to reiterate what Dee said. And I joined at the bench not too long ago, and I inundate poor Andrew with questions and suggestions.
I'm sure I got them by the side of me.
For films and whatnot. But I have learned so much, and I know that I get the best advice and teaching. Yes, and I've asked questions in forums, and I haven't run across too much of a problem with people being rude or condescending or anything, but they don't always understand the problem, or they think they have great advice, but it isn't really. And I, in fact, the sweat soldering project is in the pickle pot right now. And I was having a problem with a piece that I dreamt up in my mind, and I was sweat soldering it and making a mess of it. So I sent an email to Andrew, and he made a series of 4 videos on it. And he caught my problem right off the bat through our emails. And the one thing that I would say that has helped me, the thing that he says over and over and over again that has helped me with all of my projects, because I hear his voice in my head, and that is to get it right from the start. Because I've been somebody who will go, oh, I think it's good enough, and try to carry on with the project, and it's not, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, you do have to make sure that it's right from the start and take no shortcuts. 'Cause I don't think there are any shortcuts, to be honest.
No.
You have to be methodical in every single thing that you do. And once you understand how a process works, then you work to that process with all the necessary steps, like with your soldering. And perhaps I say it far too many times with all the films. You say about the techniques, the processes. Make sure the joints are clean. Make sure the joints are close fitting. Remember what the solder likes. It flows to the heat and all this sort of thing. It's repetition. If I only said it once, you'd forget about it. But if I repeat it, actually, he needs you to remember this. This is why he's saying it 53 times in 2 minutes. Because it's important. You have to know these things. If you don't do it, then you're not going to get the results at the end of it.
And the explanations through your projects that you film, even if it's not a project that I want to make at that time, the process and the discussion that you have about each step is helpful across the board.
Oh yeah, because as you say, the project may not be the project that you want to do or really have to do, but there are techniques involved in doing that you can relate onto something else that you do, which is obviously very handy. I think we got
Does somebody want my spot?
Shelley said she'll come on.
Yeah. Okay. So
Is that
I
okay,
just
Kathy?
hit the X. Yeah.
Thank you, Kathy. It's been lovely speaking to you.
thank you,
Really do
Kathy.
appreciate it.
Bye.
I'll still listen in.
Of course,
Okay.
no problem.
Do I
Fantastic.
just hit this little X?
I'll do it for you.
Okay.
The other thing I always hear Andrew in my head say,
Yeah.
lovely and clean, lovely and clean. Yeah, if somebody wants a seat, I can get out as well.
No.
There
Whoa.
Hi.
Hi, Shelley.
It's a
Hi,
blue shot.
right, I have glasses on as well.
You watching me in bed again?
I am in bed, but look, I have to be propped up at 45 degrees. Otherwise, I have to wear that ghastly thing.
Oh, the brace.
Yeah, I can get rid of that if I'm sitting at 45 degrees. So
Well, it's good to see you.
you too. And I'm wearing glasses because I can't actually see in focus without them.
Me too.
But what you were saying earlier about contact lenses, I've been using contact lenses for presbyopia, which is being long-sighted, so that I can see right up close. I've been using them for the last 2 years, and
Yeah?
they're really good, and I really like them.
Well, that sounds like what I need.
Yeah, presbyopia it's called.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like a
So
religion.
it does sound like some kind of rite of passage or something.
Presbyopic.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might look into it. I'm at the point now. I can't see. Without these, I can't. I can read the street signs way out there, but I can't.
Because you're long-sighted.
Yeah.
And me too. And they've only recently been making contact lenses for long-sighted people.
Is that a new thing? Okay.
Recently, yes. I tried out some of the first ones.
I don't know what I would do though, because my visor, that has a little extra lens that flips on the inside. The clip that holds it is broken, so I flip it up and I prop it on top of my glasses.
You'll have to get a whole new headgear.
I know.
I'm going to have to find another way of doing that, I'm afraid.
I would have to find out some other way to do that, like fix the spring on it myself or something.
Sorry, lying in bed, I realised that my pajamas are half hanging off.
Ooh!
That's a good way to get more people on the blab.
Yeah,
It becomes a whole different blab.
Do you have any jewelry stories you'd like to tell us, Shelley?
The horse tooth one I was talking about earlier.
Oh, please tell.
It's not particularly sad or anything like that, but a woman she'd had a little pony and she'd had him for 30 odd years, and he died, obviously. And she had his tooth that had fallen out in the bucket one day. It sounds really revolting. And she kept it in a jewelry box for years and years. And so she heard that I did jewelry. So she brought it in and said, would I do something with it? Would I make something out of it? And I said, sure, I'm sure we can do something like that, thinking, it's like an odd shaped stone, so I can make something to go around it. So she brought in this ghastly gnarled tooth. It's sort of 100-year-old tooth. It was horrible. And anyway, I took it back and I said, I think I'm going to need to saw this, because it's got the roots sticking out the back. You know how the roots on a tooth stick out the back? On a horse tooth, there's like 4 roots.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have to saw those off so that we can at least flatten one surface, because there's nothing here to flatten. It's just a big gnarled lump. Anyway, so she let me do that and I cut those bits off, but sawing a horse tooth I don't recommend.
So I'm guessing it's pretty smelly.
It smells,
It
doesn't it?
Smell. No, it's a fine dust that sits with the saw blade, and you have to keep blowing it or brushing it away, and it sort of clogs up and gets everywhere, and it's so fine you don't want to breathe it in. It's like toxic waste. It doesn't smell. It's just not very pleasant to saw. But I did that for her, and then stupidly said, oh, look, we've got enough here to make a couple of earrings.
Oh,
So that's my next job, making a couple of earrings.
Out of the root from the
Out
tooth.
of the root.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I've had a couple of clients who are hunters, big hunters. They go out west on these big trips, and the molars of the elk, they actually call it elk ivory.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple of cases where they came. I mean, it was like still nasty. You know, like, did you not even wash this before you brought it to me? And so I know exactly what you mean. I'm thinking it's probably similar, where I had to cut the root off so I would have a flat surface to set. And I did one where I made a pendant, and I did one with some earrings and gold, and that was years ago. I'd forgotten I did that, actually.
It sounds like you had a worse time than me. At least this one had died and its tooth had fallen out naturally.
No, this one was like...
They killed that one.
Yeah.
And yanked its teeth. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
I've had gold teeth in to melt down with the tooth still attached to it.
Oh, I've got one that belonged to Dave's dad, and his mum has died now herself. But she used to keep all sorts of strange things, and I came across this bottle with a gold tooth in it, and still has the tooth in it.
So
I'm not
Andrew,
doing anything with it. I'm just leaving it.
There's a jewelry story for you. That's dental gold is a different carat, isn't it? Like, how did that? When you melted that down, what did it do?
It exploded on me. We actually filmed it, so I've actually got it. I'm sure I put it onto one of the Facebook pages, but we got it off, and as we were melting it down, it melted down lovely. We poured it out into the ingot mold, and it took a while for it to freeze, but just before it froze, it actually splattered up.
Oh!
And it exploded on us.
That's happened to me one time. That's so scary.
Yeah, I know what to do regarding to make sure the mold's nice and warm, so that it doesn't immediately. I've had that happen, right at the beginning of my sort of like career, when you pour some hot metal into a freezing cold ingot mold, the sudden shock splatters it everywhere. But this was only last year or so, and it just went into the mold, and oh, that's nice, and suddenly.
Oh, I have a question for you then. So I just bought an ingot, and I'm just wondering, should I do something with it before I pour hot metal into it? Should I?
The ingot mold, yes. You must make sure you put like 3-in-1 oil in it,
right,
and then burn it off. So there's an actual layer of carbon there. Don't pour the metal into a fresh, brand new ingot mold. You won't get the gold or the silver out.
It seems to have a sort of painted surface.
Yeah, heat it up first of all, and then make sure there's oil in it, and then set fire to the oil so it causes like carbon all around it, and then that will help the ingot release.
Good. I'm glad I asked that now.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
I would be doing the melting in my brand new. My husband made it for me, Andrew style soldering station.
Yeah, that's
nice.
cool. That is.
I
That's
made
cool.
him make it for me because I couldn't make it myself.
Oh.
I said, what you can do for me whilst I'm doing it, I'll order them for you. I'll order the blocks, and you can make me a soldering station, please. Thank you.
He's a good man.
And he did.
Oh, bless.
I haven't used
That's
it yet.
fabulous.
I started sawing some jewellery yesterday or the day before. Finally started using my saw. And I've cut out a couple of letters to make some pendants for my daughters for Christmas, because they're both left home now, more on my own. And then I decided that having spent so much time and effort on them, I didn't think I'd use thick enough metal. So I've just had to order some more.
Oh, never.
To make them thicker, it's fine. It just makes exercise and making my arms stronger.
Couldn't you solder them onto another piece of metal to make it thicker?
I looked at them and thought I could do that. And then I thought, I don't want to solder them onto anything else, because I'm going to solder some rings on. I'm going to put a little silver heart onto them hanging off of it and everything. There's a few more soldering bits. I didn't want to do it, so I thought I'll just get some thicker metal and do them again.
So you can save up all your scrap then to melt it into your ingot mold.
Yeah. Melt them down and you.
Now you have an ingot mold to put them in, melted into.
Do you have a rolling mill yet?
Of course I have.
There you go. I know, but come on, you can use it then, can't you?
I can, yeah. I'm a little bit wary of melting the metal at the moment down to a liquid point.
As long as you get your eye protection and put something in the front of you, and perhaps do it with like sand, wet sand handy in case anything happens.
I've got a fire extinguisher in my in my room, in my workroom.
That's
I
good.
did melt it down before with my handheld torch, but I've since bought myself a Seavert torch, and I haven't done any melting down with that because it's so much more powerful. It'll be too easy. I'm frightened I'll melt everything around me.
Have you got the pencil nozzle or the bigger 3941? Bigger one. Pencil,
No.
bigger.
The bigger. No, sorry,
Bigger.
no, the pencil.
Pencil. I would get the bigger one again. The massive one, the 3941, which is the big nozzle.
I'm not going to be melting humongous amounts of metal.
It melts it quicker. It melts it quicker.
Yeah. I poured 2 ingots today, and I have a new torch that I got to go with the casting stuff, and I was done like that. It was, I mean, I barely even lit the torch and it was melted. It was great. It's wonderful. So I see Mark says, you know, we all know that Mark has been struggling with a dental abscess, and he's decided that that's what he's going to do with his tooth.
Fill it with gold.
Wrap it with gold. Wear it on one ear.
So
Very fashion.
3-in-1 oil, it says here. I
Yeah.
use MAP gas to melt my silver and gold. 3-in-1 oil. Where do I get that? What is it?
It's just ordinary oil. You get it in a little plastic can. You can buy it in an ironmonger's. It's just normal 3-in-1 general purpose oil.
Okay, don't have to go and buy a barrel of it or something.
No. You can buy a small one. Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's about it.
I'm
Yes.
still going to do my scope, but I'm actually having to work out how I'm going to do it at the moment, because I think I'm going to need to have my husband holding my phone whilst I show you what I'm doing on my iPad. So I'm having to work out, because it's going to be shown on the iPad, so I'm having to work that out. I've worked out a few things I'm going to do. It's that now I need to drag him into a room and say, hold this phone. He's usually very reluctant for things like that.
But yeah, we need more scopes on action, I think.
Yeah, this is action. It will be action.
Yeah, the action scopes are fun. I enjoy those. Yeah,
I have to do something with a bit more action, I think. Then
I won't be able to talk to anybody though, because I won't be able to look at the phone. So it's going to be a bit one-sided for a bit. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, you can look at the screen, and you can see the comments come up because the camera's at the back, can't you? So if he holds it near and you're melting down, yeah, you can still look at the
I'm
screen.
not really melting anything.
Okay. So you're melting it down.
Sketching.
Oh, right, okay, sorry.
but you said you were going to use the phone and the iPad. So he can be filming you on the phone, and maybe you could log into the scope as someone else, or like with a you can have more than one account, and you can log into the Periscope with someone else so you can see what's happening.
That's far too confusing.
And I think you can log in twice on one account on 2 different devices.
You can, because often
maybe you don't need another account, but yeah.
No, I don't need another account. I'd be okay on the one account, but it's just having to have two
devices,
2 machines on the go at the time. Because what I'm going to do is on the machine, on my iPad, but I need to show it on the phone. If you get my drift, it'll be clear.
Right.
So
clearer.
So you're scoping what's happening on the iPad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay, I see. Okay, yeah. I'm with you now.
Got it.
I was confused.
I was confused too.
It doesn't take much at this time of night.
It's quite easy. I do confuse people. Well, I want to get off the screen now because I don't like looking at myself because I'm lying in bed.
Well, I'm very happy to see you, and I'll go ahead and we'll let you go. But thank you for coming in. You're going to stick around for a minute?
Oh gosh, yes, yeah.
Okay.
Till the bitter end.
Right.
I'm always the last one to leave a party. Usually the worst for wear.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you.
Somebody else can get in.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
that's okay with you, yeah?
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Lovely
Bye.
to see you, Dee.
All right. We have who wants to come in? We have Kelly and anybody who would like, just hit the button there.
Let's get Mark back on. Come on, Mark. Come back on.
Yeah, come on, Mark.
You got pulled off last time.
with a big hook around his neck.
Yeah. What was that music? Was that?
He's gone. Where's he gone?
I don't know.
What music was that, I wonder?
I didn't hear any music.
No, I didn't hear music. No, no music here.
No music here.
He's
I
gone.
see you say, what is the music? He's just gone. Oh, here he comes. You got it?
Again. Somebody hooked me off.
No.
I had a new toy today.
Toy?
A new toy.
Let's see.
Mm.
Oh, an ingot mold.
An adjustable
Yeah.
ingot mold.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Well,
That's a big one. It looks like pretty good size ingot there.
yeah, it's not bad. I think I use
Graduated.
Yeah, and I use the method I use for buying stuff is if it's good enough for Andrew, then it must be good enough for me. And I think this is the one that he basically showed where you reverse it and you can do the.
That's
So it's good. You know.
Is he frozen?
yeah. He's breaking up. Now he's frozen.
I'm laughing because you froze it. Oh, there you're back.
My what? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
What's happening? It's
Hey! Hey, that tickles.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's a very good ingot mold.
I what? I got my.
It's a very good ingot mold. That one.
Can you hear?
We lost the video. We lost the video.
No, he's still there.
It's
That used to give me the creeps when I was a kid.
Can you see the video?
What? No, Mark's stuck. And he's doing
like
this.
the piano.
You're stuck, Mark. You're just doing this.
I've got a little tiny mark in the middle, and every time he makes a sound, it vibrates off.
He's gone. He's gone. No, he's
What?
there.
Is that any better?
No. All we can do is just see you with
Weird.
your
I don't know
dog.
what's happening.
So
I don't know what.
Bryson is
what
Bryson's
happened.
taking the wax tray out of the kiln.
He is faceless. Am I faceless? Can you see me?
Maybe go out and come back in. You know, try that.
Can you see?
No.
Oh,
Obviously,
God.
the internet signal in Caldecott isn't that good.
That must be what it is.
Put 50 pence in the meter, Mark. Is he coming back?
It's trying.
He's green.
He's coming. He's pulsing. He's pulsing.
Let's give him some props.
Okay,
for
yeah.
trying. Give him effort for trying.
Anybody want to jump in that other seat? Feel free. Oh, Kelly, push the join button, Kelly. Lost them both. Okay, here's Kelly. We'll leave that spot open for Mark.
Hi.
Pulsating.
Hi.
Hi, Kelly.
Kim being totally brave. You guys totally convinced me to do this, and here I am. And
Well, it's so nice to see your face.
here I am. This is
Yeah.
that person. They only see your hands on Periscope.
Yeah, normally.
It's not as bad as you think, is it?
It's nerve wracking, but you guys are here. You got my back. We're all good.
Yeah, it gets easier. I promise.
Yes. Well, I tell you, I've learned so much from both of you guys, and I so appreciate finding Periscope and finding you guys talk about your stuff. It's just been so great. It's so great. So
Well, I enjoy watching you at your bench and the chickens that walk by, and it's good. And I like the way you work on several things at the same time.
I try. It makes me feel like I'm actually, getting stuff done instead of like one thing, because it's not my full-time job yet. Still doing the kids and everything else. So if I have a lot going on, I feel like I'm being pretty badass. So.
Yeah,
I like the backs of your bezels where you pierce out the design as well, because not a lot of people actually realize that jewelry is three-dimensional, and it's not just what is seen on the outside; it's actually what's on the inside as well.
Yeah,
yep.
I do like that. But
thank you. I actually fell into that. I got a stone stuck, and the dental floss broke. And another classmate said, put a hole in the back, and then you can push it out, during the whole process of making it, and then make a design on it. Great. I'll do that. Now I just love doing it. So.
Excellent. Exactly. That's the way to do it.
Isn't that great? Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
So yeah, I don't even mess with dental floss anymore. Yeah. I'll just make a design. But it's because a lot of people need to find the design. And I usually get the design inspiration from the stone. And I usually get the design inspiration from the stone.
So does anybody else see Echo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Echo, yeah.
So
I blame Mark for that. Echo, yeah. I blame Mark for that.
I have gone. I have unplugged.
Yeah.
Plug back in.
I feel like I need popcorn.
It's crazy. It's this Welsh. It's the old Welsh signal. It's terrible. I got Sparky's magic piano all the time. Sparky.
Does anybody else know about Sparky's magic piano?
I don't.
What is?
Hey, I know about that. Please, do you mind?
You've got to be very old to know about it, I guess.
Saturday mornings. Do you need a choice?
Well, be that old.
That's right, yeah. See? I'm wearing well.
That's right, yeah. Wow. Can anyone hear music now? Okay, so it must be. I've got some great music coming through
Listen
my
to
cans.
him.
It must be
Music coming through my cans.
Off my phone.
Headphones.
Oh, sorry. Oh, dear.
Your cans. Oh, that's like a same can with the screen and everything? I love
that. Let me go and see if I can get rid of my music. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to go away and I'll come back later.
Oh, my goodness me. Everyone's moving.
Kelly, do you have a jewelry story for us?
A jewelry story. Let's see. Well, I'm still new. Pardon me, I'm getting my chart. Still kind of new. I've only been fabricating for like 2.5 years, maybe 2 years, something like that.
What, the one piece?
Yeah, the one piece. Long time. It's been giving me a lot of trouble, man. Let me think of something. Give me a minute. Off the top of my head, I don't have one particular story just yet.
All right. How about you, Mark? Have you got a story to tell?
Oh, yeah. I got a story. Okay. This has nothing to do with jewelry, but it is a story. And it shows, I think it's a nice story to show about humanity and how nice people can be, even though you've never met them. And this was long before the days of communication, like we have the telecommunications like we have today, going back to 1970. And I just finished.
Yeah, I was 5. So I was 5.
Am I okay? Am I still? Yeah, okay. Oh, hi. Okay, so I just finished a gig in Vegas, and we were going on a world tour, and I was really missing my then to be wife, my girlfriend Andrea, and so I used to phone her every day. But in those days, it used to cost £1 for a minute, which was about $3, I think, in those days, maybe $3.50, $4 to the pound for a minute. And I used to do this every day because I love you and I miss you, and when you're coming home, and so and we were staying with a friend of the bass players, a girl by the name of Annie Hayes, and she lived in Beverly Hills. And Annie used to be a model in England, and then she went to America. So this one day, so I said to Annie, "Can I use your phone?" And she said, "I said I'll get the phone back." So she said, "Yeah, okay." So I made the call to my wife in England and said, "Hi, darling, how you doing?" Blah, 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 blah. Goodbye. And then the operator rang back and said, "Okay, Mr. Goodwin, you're on the phone for 1 hour. You owe $185, please." You know, so then I would give Annie Hayes the money for the call, you know, so she didn't lose up. So that night, Annie said, "I have to go to dinner with friends and all the rest of it, but I'll see you tomorrow." And the next day she came back and she gave me a piece of paper. And on this piece of paper was a number. She said, "I was at a party last night, dinner party last night." She said, "And we have the Bell Telephone Company here in America have a special deal. It's that what they do, they estimate what your telephone charges are for the year. And then if you want, you can have a special billing number. So you pay them a lump sum up front and you never get a bill." So she said, "You know, if you spend $10,000 a year, or $5,000 a year, you pay them the $5,000 up front, and then you phone from anywhere in the world, whatever, and you never get a phone call." She said, "But it's been going very wrong." She said, "And people are paying lots of money up front." She said, "And they're still getting phone calls and everything." So I was at this friend's place last night, and he's been having terrible problems. So I was telling him about you, how you phone your girlfriend every day, young love, and how it's costing you $3 a minute or whatever it is. So he said, my friend said, "Look, give him my special billing number because I'm fed up with the Bell Telephone Company." He said, "Just tell him to use this billing number wherever he is." So I said, "Oh, wow, that's very nice. What do I have to do?" She just phone the operator, and you said the operator, "Special billing number, please." And she says, "Yes, sir. What name?" And you say, "Paul Newman." I said, "What, Paul Sundance kid, Paul Newman?" She said, "Yeah." So I said, "Well, I said the operator's going to say you're not Paul Newman." She said, "Yeah, just tell him you're his business manager or something." So the next day, we were up in Tahoe. We'd left LA, went to Tahoe, and I thought, "Well, we'll try it." So I went into the foyer where one of the gigs I rang, and the operator said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, special billing number, please." So she just, "Special billing number." I said, 5943261. She said, "Name?" I said, "Newman." She said, "First name?" I said, "Paul." She said, "But you're not the Paul Newman, are you?" I said, "No, I'm his business manager." I said, "And I have authority to use this number." She said, "Oh, okay, put me through." And I did that every day for a month.
That's wonderful.
And I mean, wasn't that nice of the guy to do that? But apparently Frank Sinatra had a similar problem and took a full-page advert in the New York Times. And he said, "I've got a special billing number from the Bell Telephone Company. They're still screwing me. Whoever reads this, use my number today." And by the time the Bell Telephone Company had unplugged it, they'd already lost like $2 million because people all over America were just using that. So that's a nice story. And the funny thing is, I've still got my little telephone book that I had, and I got the number in it.
Check a pie. I'm still here listening now.
Okay, no problem.
Hello, Bryson.
Hi, Bryson. How are you?
This is pretty cool.
Okay. So,
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
I'm doing fine. Have you started wearing that
the bell jar on your head?
Now?
Oh yeah.
The bell jar.
Yeah. No, I wear it every day. It's like my new kind of style. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does wear it every day because I got a picture of him wearing it.
Hey, look, he's got it right here. You gotta be really careful what you put on the internet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, well, that's great.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Oh, that's lovely. Look,
should focus. Focus.
I know what it looks like.
Yeah, it's great.
That's cool.
Oh dear. I finally got my little telephone holder arrived today from Amazon, which because similar, very similar to that one. But I tell you what else I got, which was cool, which I thought I got what do you call it? A Bluetooth automatic on.
Oh, that's handy.
Thing.
Bluetooth
remote
car.
Yeah. No, for the
it looks like
iPhone.
a car key fob thing.
Yeah, it looks like, but it's not. But it's the
just turns what on the camera. Oh, it's the camera. Ah, cool.
Yeah, it's for the camera. So if you can take shots, or you can do if you put your iPhone on video. And,
it's for the
video will
shutter,
stop.
like a shutter button.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
So, we have a question from Shelley. Wants to know, what is the microphone on each screen for? Does anybody know?
I don't.
I suppose should we try and mute Mark?
On what screen?
It mutes Mark.
Yeah. You pick and choose who you want to hear.
So there we go.
Okay,
that's what that does. I'm going to give him props. Y'all quit picking on. Did you hear me go southern on you right there?
This is. Do you see this? This is my Land Rover car key.
Yeah.
As you can see, the button here, there. That's the button that you press to lock it, and the button fell out, so I couldn't lock the car with the thing. So I rang up Land Rover and I said, can I have a new key, please? Can I come along and pick up a new key? So he said, yes, sir. He said, we need the car for half a day. I said, what? I only want to buy a key. He said, yeah, but we need to reprogram the car with the key and all the rest of it. Plus, we have to send the key off to be laser cut. I said, oh, okay. I said, and how much is the key, please? He said, £285. Yeah. Like, what's that? Like $600. I said, you're having a laugh. I said, I'm just nearly more than I paid for the car. So my son said, you don't want to do that. He said, my son said, let me go on eBay and sort it for you. So my son went on eBay and he bought one of these for me, not this particular one. Cost him £2.25. And he took the innards of my original key out, put them in the new one, and bob's your ankle. So for £2, bob's your ankle or your knee. So for £2.21, I got a key. And
fantastic.
And they wanted to charge £285. Can you believe
they'll do that here too. Even to replace the battery is going to cost you a couple, over $100.
You're kidding.
Not kidding. So we're lucky we have a little jewelry supply store here, and they actually they'll bring it here. We're not going to charge you normal leg, but if you go to the dealer, they'll rip you off. Totally.
Gee whiz.
Yeah.
Andrew's like that up in Australia with the watch batteries. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dear me.
No, he's not.
We don't rip people off.
No. Of course not.
Right, guys, I am going to have to shoot off.
Yes, it's 11:30 here.
It's 11:30. It's way past my bedtime.
Yes, it is.
It is. The only person who hasn't come in is Monica and Shoshana. If either one of you want, we would love to see you, but no pressure.
So, I'm more than happy to sign out, or you can kick me out. I understand.
I can't kick you out. You're recording it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so can I? So what will happen if I come out? Will it stop recording?
I don't know. You're the one that I don't have the button to stop recording.
I have to go now, so I'm going to love you and leave you. And
okay,
it's been good fun. We'll do it again.
This is good.
Yes. It's a good giggle.
It is. It was good fun. All right. Well, good night, Mark.
Guys. Love you lot.
Thank you, Mark.
Bye.
See you soon, Mark.
Okay. See you soon, Andrew. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Somebody's too tired in bed again. I was brave. Come on, let's do this. Somebody else was in bed doing it. I'm trying to think of a jewelry story, and I'm trying to think of which one, you know, because I'm still new at this would be good. And I keep coming back to the beginning of how I even got into it. And it was after my mom passed away almost 5 years ago, and I found her shoebox, and it said in her handwriting, jewelry. And I opened it up, and I knew she had taken a class, you know, in the 50s in Arizona, all this stuff. And I opened it up, and I'm looking at this weird stuff. There's like this black piece of charcoal, and there's some stones, and there's this weird bottle of weird, you know, goopy stuff. And my dad and I threw away the goopy bottle. And then I think probably about a year later, and long story short, I ended up in a jewelry class at my local junior college. And I learned what that bottle of goop was. It was really old pickle. And it was 1952. It was nasty. There was also this beautiful, I have to frame it because I can't use it, piece of solder in this envelope with all the writings of the place where it came from, but has cadmium in it. So you cadmium? Yeah, is that? And but there was silver in there from my mom. And I remember her always saying she stopped doing metalsmithing when silver went over $7 an ounce. And which is funny because when I started, I think it was $38 an ounce. And so anyways, my first piece I made with her silver was the first stone I ever set. And it was just a random little turquoise from my teacher and stuff like that. But it's my favorite ring.
Oh, yay.
And I made all the silver balls. Well, they're fine silver. And my ring shank is crooked, you know. But it's my first one. And I always...
Hey, the balls look good. They're all about the same size. Nice.
Except for they're fine silver, and I wear it every day, and it bangs into my other rings, so each side is flattened. But that's that well-loved, right? That's well-loved. It's always on my hands, so
that's fine.
Hey, that's all right. That's okay.
Yeah, that's memories, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it's one of the few pieces that doesn't have anything on the back because I hadn't figured out that trick yet. I was just so.
You hadn't gotten the stone stuff yet.
No, I actually bugged my teacher. It wasn't a stone setting class, and I was like, "Please, this is really just what I want to learn how to set a stone." And she's like, "Okay," and took off. That kind of thing. So
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I love it because I think I thought about that too. How the stories I go to first are client stories and narratives about things that I've made, but maybe on another time I'll tell you my stories, you know, because I can relate to what you're saying.
Well, stories that originate and get us to where you can say those client stories and all those things, you know.
Exactly.
You know,
all right. Well, I was just going to say, I think we could, on that note, it would be a great way to wrap up. And I have enjoyed this so much to get to see your faces and hear your voices. And it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful time to share with you guys. And this is it. What is that?
The same as yours. Like, thanks, Shelley.
Hey. You already got almost 2 million likes. You don't need to beat me on props too.
You know, when we first got on, my daughter was making sure everybody was getting equal hearts. She kept tapping.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
that's cute. Thank you so much.
That's sweet. That's I remember that about my kids when they wanted, like, you fill up the glass of milk and it has to be exactly the same. She got more than I did.
Yeah, they're brawling. Yeah, definitely. Well, thanks for having me on and making me break out of my shell. It was good.
Well, it was delightful to see you.
This is me. and my dove. There's my dove. She had to be in the...
Oh. Lovely. Yeah. All right. Well, we will say goodnight to Kelly. Bye. Send you off. Okay, bye. And Andrew, any last words?
It's been good fun. We should do it again sometime.
You always have so much to say. I knew you had something to say. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. And I guess we're
done.
I'd
like to thank everybody who's come on, everybody who's partaken, if that's the right word, in the chat. Very kind.
Yeah. This is the part where the fat lady sings.
So shall I close my window to see what happens to the recording.
Yeah,
Yeah?
sure.
And if it goes
great.
off,
Mhm.
thank you very much for having me.
Okay.
Take care.
And okay, good night. Oh, still recording? All right, I'm going to say good night, everybody. Have a good night. Bye.